call to order. Take a roll call first for the commissioners. Myself, Ed Chaptelling's present. Patty's
present. Patty Castellanos.
Wenda Luff, are you there, Wenda?
Not on the list.
Amanda Smith. Commissioner Bill Shaheen.
Amanda just joined.
Okay, hi Amanda. Amanda?
Yep. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
Amanda Smith, a commissioner, has just signed on. So we are a quorum at this point. So Wenda and Bill Shaheen are not present at present. Open public hearing. We're going to start with building permits at 7 o'clock. We received a building permit for 15 Bittersweet Lane in-ground pool application. That was sent to us electronically by Kathy Leonard. I did take a chance to look at it. Amanda, Patty, did you have a chance to look at that?
I didn't get a chance to review it.
Amanda, did you have a chance to look at that?
I have not looked yet, but I'll look right now.
Yeah, we can look at it real quick. And we have Tim from Julian Pools, who represents the owner, I believe.
That's right.
So
That's correct.
Tim, describe the project real quickly by what size of pool it's located.
I will. Again, I assume everyone can hear me.
Yes.
My name is Tim Goodell from. My name is Tim Goodell from Giuliano's Pools. I'm representing Chris and Nicole Wozniak, and the proposed project. It's an in-ground pool, 18 by 36. There will be a concrete patio around pool edge. There will be a 4-foot fence. The area of disturbance is approximately 20 feet around the immediate perimeter of the pool. Pool location is approximately 25 feet off of the north side of the house. That location is currently lawn and open area. Specifically from a conservation perspective, the materials for example, the excavation of the materials, they will not be stockpiled. They will be trucked away immediately. There will be no discharge of pool water as part of the project or ongoing maintenance. And also, as far as the GIS wetlands, there are no wetlands in consideration within a 100-foot radius, at least based on the GIS that I've seen. With that, I would open it up to questions.
Granby Conservation. Any commissioners have any questions, comments, concerns?
No.
Patty says no. Amanda?
Nope, I don't have any either.
This is directly, I think it abuts the golf course in South Hadley.
It is.
Tim?
It is. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so any questions from the audience? We'll make a motion to approve the building permit for an in-ground pool located north of the 15 Bittersweet, as described by Tim from Julian Pools.
I second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Oh, there's Bill.
Hey, Bill, how are you? Bill Shaheen just signed in. We just approved a building permit for a pool on Bittersweet, going over existing lawn, so Tim, I don't have the application here for the permit. It's not printed out. I'll shoot an email or something tomorrow to Kathy with the saying we approved it.
That's great.
All
And
right.
I'll plan to follow up. Yes, sir. I'll plan to follow up.
Tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you all. Good night.
Take care. Are there any other building permits out there?
Yeah.
This conference
I
will
have
now
one.
be recorded.
Okay, go ahead. Your
Can you
name?
hear me?
I
Yeah,
can
this
hear
is
you.
John Champney. And I'm
John?
over at 105. Yeah, Champney.
Spell that.
CHAMP IGNY.
Thank you. Your address?
It's 105 Carver Street.
Carver. Okay, and your application is for what type of construction?
In-ground pool, just as the fellow before me.
Okay. Where's the pool being located?
Behind my garage building, and it's
What's-
currently a lawn area.
Lawn area? Is there
Yeah.
any tree clearing?
Nope.
Amanda, do you have any access to that GIS or Bill? I'm not familiar with 105 Carver Street.
I looked it
pulling it
up,
up
not
now.
that, I looked it up and it looks like I'm like 360 feet to the nearest possible wetland on the GIS map, but obviously verify for yourself.
Oh, on Carver Street, what part of Carver Street? So you go past Lyons heading towards Belchertown?
Yes, exactly. Just up the hill on the left is 105 Carver.
Are you near Munson?
But way before Munson, closest to Lion Street.
Okay, on the left side, in the Rockies
Yes.
gravel.
Yeah,
In the
that's
rock-
down the road from, I'm kind of across from the field that's just above that pond that, kind of touches Lions and Carver Street.
Okay,
Okay, I know that one.
sure, okay. So you're going on his existing lawn. Has Amanda, have you had a chance to look at it, or Bill?
I'm looking at it right now, and is the garage on the east side of the house?
Yes,
Okay, so like the right side, which is farther
Yeah,
away
it's
from the
going-
wetland area.
it's just going behind that, right?
Okay.
So this is for a pool. What's your pool? What's your phone number? I want to have that over the internet.
Sure. It's 413-374-9951.
Okay, so Amanda, there's no wetlands there?
Not that I can see. There's some far to the west, but it's like two properties over.
So John, said that he would put the pool on the existing, it's above ground or in ground?
It's going to be an in-ground.
So it's gonna go on existing lawn.
Yep.
So I don't see an issue with that. Are any of the commissioners have any issues?
I don't have an issue.
Is there anybody else in the audience who would like to talk about 105 Carver Street pool? Okay. Any commissioners have any other concerns?
Mm-mm.
Amanda, you want to make a motion because you have the GIS in front of you?
Sure. I make a motion to approve the in-ground pool for 105 Carver Street.
Thank you. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Great, thank you.
All right, it's all approved.
Okay,
Well-
I'm not sure of the exact process, but do I need a signature on something from one of you guys, or I'm just trying to, get going with the permit?
The signature spot. I don't know how we can do this, but I'll email Kathy tomorrow with that other one from Bittersweet, telling them that we have 2 full approvals.
Okay, so the signature will be on hand somewhere.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you on that one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the process. Do I need to get the paperwork signed by somebody on the commission?
Well, typically that's how it works, but with the COVID-19 social distancing stuff,
Right.
it's all new territory, so we'll figure this out. If we have to get a signature, if the building inspector needs a signature besides the email, then we'll deal with it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Any other building permits?
I'm not sure if mine is a building permit. I just don't really know the process. My husband and I are in the beginning processes of building a new home on Lot 8 on Morgan Street.
All right, sure, what's your name?
Christine
Name?
Karen. Christine Karen.
Last name?
Caron.
Lot is on what?
Lot 8,
8 or A as an apple?
8, the number 8,
Okay, Morgan.
correct.
57 acres.
So you don't have a building plan as of yet, or you're just starting?
We have the house plan, we have the septic system design approved by the Board of Health. And we were under the impression this was our next step.
Sure, yes, you would probably have to get us the information somehow so we can take a look at it. Some of those lots are close to wetlands, some are not. So if somehow you can either get copies to the, get us copies of the septic plan electronically, or however you can get it to us with the building location and the lot lines, we'll take a look at it and then see what's the next step. If you need to, if we can do it under a building permit, we will do it under a building permit. If we got to do it under an RDA or an NOI, which is requested determination or a notice of intent, we'll have to take a look at that. Because I don't have anything in front of me. I know those lots are somewhere, some have wetlands, some don't.
Okay, this definitely is near wetlands. It's the 57 acres.
Okay, well, yeah,
And
sure. If the activity's not near the wetland, then, if you're staying away from the wetland, then that's good.
yes, we're staying very far away from the wetlands.
So that might be just under a building permit. You'd have to take a look at what you're doing first. So if you can send us somehow to either Kathy Leonard at the Selectman's office paperwork, we'll put it on the next agenda.
Okay, so I need a copy of the septic plans. And is it the lot lines on the septic design, or is it a separate plot plan?
They should be on the septic plan. I don't know who drew the septic, who prepared the septic plan.
Bob Sheehan.
Bob Sheehan?
Okay, so I would expect the property lines to be on there, but I don't know till I see it. That I can't tell you. So
Okay,
if you can get that to us, we can review it, and then on the next next conservation meeting, which is tentatively scheduled, it's going to be scheduled in July 14th. So that's tentatively. So we'll get that to Kathy ASAP.
All right.
okay. And then you'll tell us from there what we need to fill out or our next steps.
That's right. Hopefully we can sign it next time we meet, and then you're on your way. But if not, we'll let you know beforehand or at the meeting.
Okay,
All right. Kristen,
perfect. I'll get them over to Kathy tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other building permits? Time is it? 7:13.
How much for that?
7:13. We have no other building permits.
Mm-mm.
Okay, people out there, Bill tried calling me. You want to call him, or do you want me to? You want
He's
to?
back on.
He's back. Bill, are you there?
Yep, he just,
Hi, Bill. I know we lost you for a second. Sorry, I couldn't answer your phone.
I can't tell if he can hear us or not.
Okay, so moving on.
He's muted, I think.
Okay, that's fine. I think he can hear us. So moving on, we have no other, nothing else till 7:30. Building permits are done. We're gonna move on to administrative duties, which are, filled in, will be a fill-in between now and the next public hearing at 7:30. So. Okay.
Oh, okay, I was like,
Bill, can you hear me? Kevin, can you hear me?
If they're trying to connect with, they need a pin to connect with your phone if you're not using Wi-Fi. Just so you know.
Okay, I don't have that pin.
I don't either.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
Kevin, we're having some technical difficulties. Thanks for chiming in. Peter, can you hear us?
Yes.
Bill, can you hear us? Bill? Amanda, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you all.
Wenda, are you there, Wenda? All right, Wenda's not on, so I'm gonna cross her off on the agenda till for now. Okay, so moving on to administrative duties, gravel permits. I want to make a motion to continue that to July 14th. Has anybody had a chance? I know you and I have conflicts on Mr. Andres.
Yeah, we can't do Andres.
So Wenda and Amanda are the only two, I believe, that don't have a conflict with
Right.
Mr. Andres.
Right.
And Amanda, have you had a chance to go out there?
I have not.
You have not. Okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna make this motion to continue
I'll second.
to 14th. Discussion? David? Amanda,
Yep.
you want to continue that?
Yes.
Yes, okay. We'll have to figure something out. Phil, I don't know if you can hear me. Moving on to the administrative duties, actually, I'm gonna move back to. July 14th, 2020, and that follows street property complaint. Burnett Street, West Street concerns. Item 7.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Bill.
Oh, you got me? Okay, very good. Thank you.
Item 7, Kennedy Street. All those items that we don't give full attention to, 14, 20.
Hello?
Those items.
Amanda? Vote on that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The sound is going in and out. There's some really loud background noise that keeps coming in and out.
I'm hearing it that way as well.
I
It
hear
sounds
you.
like an intermittent signal.
It's-
That can sometimes happen if someone has it on their phone and their computer, if there's two audio devices connected that are nearby.
Hey, Nan. Nanny. Anybody have a computer on that's connected to the phone? Bill?
No, I just have the computer audio only.
It can also happen if people don't mute their mics when they're not speaking.
All right, so if you're not speaking, and if I don't call for you, please mute your phone, please. Commissioners, you can leave your phones on, please. To the general audience out there, please mute your phones till I address you. So we had a motion, I believe, Amanda, did you approve the continuation of those items, the 14th?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Bill, I'm thinking you want to continue those items too? We can't put our full attention to them anyway, so after COVID-19.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
Okay,
Okay.
so motion carries. So, I see someone signed on, Mr. Kotowitz. I'm guessing you're here for a building permit. Alan? Can you hear me, Alan?
Hello? Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I
So
was trying to get through, but I could not, I was speaking, but I couldn't be heard. So I tried to readjust it. I missed the opening part there because, nobody could hear me talking.
Okay,
I had
so,
the same problem, Al.
so, I think-
Yeah,
okay, so Alan, you're here for a building permit on Maximilian Drive?
yes, sir.
The contact.
For 126 Maximilian Drive, also known as Lot D.
That's at the
11D.
cul- so I'm gonna recuse myself on that because that's my site survey since 1999. That's the project I've been working on. So Patty, I'll let you, it's a building permit for a cul-de-sac.
All right, so where's the paperwork for
There is none.
there isn't any. Okay, so what are we doing at this time?
You want me to describe it or you want me to describe it?
Can you describe the nature of the building permit we're talking about, please?
Alan?
Who, me?
Hear me? Yes,
Yeah,
please.
It's on a cul-de-sac. It's signed over, planning board signed over it yesterday. It's on an existing subdivision. And we've built all the other houses there previously on Maximilian Drive.
Okay,
Alan, is at the end of the street next to Joe's house?
Yes, last lot on the right.
Okay, I know where that is. Very good.
I'm sorry I missed it before. I was trying to get my volume here to be able, for you guys to be able to hear me, but it wouldn't work until I had to readjust.
That's modern technology.
so what is the nature of the work on the building permit that you're gonna be presenting? Single family?
To build a new home.
Okay,
Alan, leach field in front, well in back.
The well is to the southerly side, rear south line, and the leach area is in the back. Bob Sheehan did all the perk tests, and Ed Chepling did the survey.
Okay. You don't have the plan that you can hold in front of the camera, do you?
Let's see. I gave it to the planning board last night, but I have an email that shows it all. If I could show you that picture. Let me pull it up here.
Don't you love modern technology? Kev, you got to tilt your camera down a little bit. We're looking at your ceiling. That's better. Thank you.
Here is, can you see that, Bill?
Not exactly. You don't have a hard copy? Actually, if you get it real close, I think we can see it. Bring it right up against the lens.
oh yeah, there you go.
There we go. Patty, your eyes are better than mine. What do you see?
Wait, hold on, I gotta move to the right screen. Oh, come on. Oh, wait, okay, wait.
Yeah, you got to click on who's talking.
Yeah, I know, I'm just looking at it. It's
Alan,
hard to
keep talking.
What's that?
No, you got to talk because you'll show up on who's talking on the big
I'm
screen.
sorry. Yeah,
There it is. Okay, do it again. You got a light on in the kitchen there, but that's okay.
let me shut that off.
Yeah, shut the light off in the kitchen.
We've entered a whole other level of,
Let's see, is that any better?
There you go. Okay,
okay.
where's Joe's house? Joe's house is down below?
Would be to the right-hand side.
Okay, all right, so it's a half cul-de-sac, and the new home is on that end
Yes.
lot that you've been looking to sell for some time, okay? And there's no wetlands on
Yeah.
that particular lot?
No.
Correct.
Okay, and Amanda, did you confirm that on the online GIS?
One sec, I have to pull it up.
Okay, no worries. Okay, I'm back in the view everybody mode. Well, that's pretty good, Alan. I can see that quite nicely now.
Yeah, there are no wetlands on the property.
Okay.
They're
And
to the
Alan,
west.
yeah, Alan, where's your leach field on that little sketch?
Behind the house layout. So it would be to the left, my left. I don't know how it's looking on your side. Let's see. Let me grow it here. You have the two boxes.
Mhm.
And not the front one closest to the cul-de-sac, but the one right behind it. That box is the house, and it's right behind the house.
Okay,
Okay.
I think we have no problems there.
No, I don't either.
I'm good.
Yeah,
have a
it
motion?
looks good.
Motion to approve, Patty?
Do we have someone out there with a motion?
I so move.
Do we have a second? Amanda gonna second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor of approving the plan as presented at the meeting?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you very much.
you're
You
welcome.
guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Alan,
Yes.
Billy Mott got his, what, 5,000th win the other day?
Did you read that?
Yeah,
5,000 wins. Imagine that.
unbelievable.
5,000.
We got the Derby in September. Okay, we'll see you later, Al. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you again very much.
Okay, all the best.
It's away with it. Come on.
All right, administrative duties, we got 3 minutes. Commentary. The Zoom meeting's working so-so. There's my commentary.
Well, I think we're getting it ironed out. Every time we do it, it gets a little bit better. So maybe by the end of the year, we'll be pros at this.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well noted. So item number 2 on administrative duties, post the next meeting. Today is June 9th. Our next meeting is Tuesday, July 14th, 2020. And the filing deadlines to meet the July 14th meeting will be
What?
May 25th.
Wait, that doesn't
That's
make
wrong.
any sense.
Nope, that's wrong. Anyways, let's go. Our next
June
meeting is
20.
July 14th. of 2020, and I'm sorry, it's June 29th is to get on that meeting.
Okay.
I just brain farted on this one.
I was like, well, it says
Yeah, I
May.
know, I just crossed it. So Tuesday, July 14th, 2020 at, it will probably by this, go-to meeting app again, I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
Yay.
So, well, I think it's 7:30, right?
Yep.
Yep, 7:30, close enough.
Okay. Go through our public hearings. $7:30, item 1, continued notice of intent filed by Saunders and Wiltsley for proposed repair to an on-site septic system for an existing single-family house on .47 acre parcel with regards to property located at 277 East State Street, known as map 9C-A-4 in the town of Granby. I believe Kevin Brooks, you're here for that one? Kevin?
Yes,
Okay, so.
file numbers was received on that.
Yeah, we do have it here. I do have a DEP number, 1650338.
That's correct.
So,
All we needed was an order of conditions on that.
I think we discussed it. We discussed it at the last meeting and tentatively approved it based on.
Yeah.
the type of project. And,
It's all written up, folks. It's right in front of me.
okay.
Okay, good.
That being said, I obviously can't, I'm gonna make a motion to close. I guess we have to make a motion to close the hearing.
Yeah, I closed the hearing first, Ed, and then I'll read you the way I wrote up the special conditions, and then I've got the 3 signatories on the document. We can finish this up.
So I'll make a motion to close the meeting for 277.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Describe your special conditions.
Yeah, I can do that right now, Ed. Stand by, please. Okay, special conditions read as follows. Erosion control shall consist of straw wattles or straw bales only, hay bales not permitted. Erosion control shall be installed at locations as shown on permit plan. So if you're good with that, we can close this out.
Standard line just for notification and other good stuff. Just like a bullet. So Bill made the.
Hearing a ton of background noise there. So Ed, if you'd make a motion to approve it, we can finish this right now.
I make a motion to approve as Amanda, did we approved that tentatively last week? What was it, negative determination?
I'm sorry, I can barely hear.
Kevin,
Yes,
mute your phone, please. You're not, if anybody's not talking, right? Everybody in the audience, mute their phones, please. Only commissioners at this time can talk, please. Thank you. So, commissioners, we have, do we have to go through that same motion with the negative determination and all that stuff, or we're just gonna go ahead with the special conditions?
No, this is an order of conditions, Ed. We have to approve the order of conditions with the special conditions as written.
Right, but I don't know what was the determination? Are we approving?
No, this is not an RDA. This is an order of conditions. This is an NOI.
Okay. So what, you just read back one special condition, didn't you?
No, there are 2 special conditions and then the general conditions.
Okay,
So I've got for signatories, yourself, Amanda, and myself. Patty can't participate because she wasn't here for the hearing.
that's fine. All
Okay,
right, so I make a motion to approve as Bill crafted. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
okay, I'm pushing the button and it's done, finished.
Thank you, Bill. So Kevin,
Kev, what's Nancy's email? I'm gonna send it to her right now. What is it again?
it's Nancy B. 0702@gmail.
Okay, 0702@gmail.com.
.com.
Okay, so Nancy B 0702@gmail.com. Okay, very good. And I'll
Thank
send
you.
it to myself, and then I'll send it to everybody else on the commission.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Very good. Excellent.
Okay.
It's done.
Moving on, and again, the same action. If anybody in the audience could please mute their phones and let the commissioners just talk, we will open it up to the public as soon as we're ready to take comments and concerns and presentation by the applicant. Item 2, RDA filed by Christian and Christina Buscemi. See whether the work depicted on plans and or maps referenced are subject to the Wetlands Protection Act, or any municipal wetlands ordinance by law. The town of Granby with regards to property located at 75 Forge Pond Road, known as map 14C A-18, the town of Granby. Should have read this one, it's easier to read. So what I have here before me is a WPA Form 1 request determination of applicability. And it looks like I've got some plans that have been stapled together.
Really stapled.
And it looks like a plan that is drawn by Cold Spring Environmental Consultants, Alan Weiss. And it looks like we have a septic repair or design for an existing dwelling at 75 Fort Pond. So do we have anybody here on the phone? I'm gonna open this up to the applicant or the applicant's representative. Is there anyone here representing 75 Forge Pond Road? Anybody in the general audience representing 75 Forge Pond Road, Alan Weiss or Christian and Christina Buscemi? Anybody out there? Anyone here to represent that person? See that?
No, it's not.
No.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay, I don't have anybody here, so this commission, all right, opening this up to the commissioners. Has anybody had a chance to look at the plan for the 75 Forge Pond Road? I think Kathy sent this electronically. I probably glanced through it. Any
I did
commissioners?
not see it, and I can't find it right now.
Okay, maybe it wasn't sent to us. This is along Forge Pond. We've got the an existing building. I'm not sure if we want to take a look at this on the ground. I think we should probably take a look at this.
What is the plan for? Could you tell us at all?
It looks like a septic repair.
Okay.
Septic design, I'll read you the title of the plan. Septic system design plan for Christina Buscemi, 75 Forge Pond Road. It's dated May 1st, 2020. Cold Spring Environmental Consultants, Alan Weiss. So it is up against the pond.
Yeah, there's tons of wetlands and everything all around that property. We probably want to take a look on the ground.
Seeing how I don't really have anybody here representing, again, I'm going to open up the audience. Anybody here representing this petitioner? Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to continue this to our next meeting on July 14th at the same time, 7:30 time slot.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No, it's unanimous. All right, so we should make a point to contact Mr. Weiss and either go out there, see what's going on, and if some things could be staked out. So why don't we, all right, so I'm gonna make a note, no applicant or rep. Continued to July 14th, 2020 at 7:30. So in the meantime, we should probably do a site visit, I'm guessing. So that being said, we'll revisit this again in the near future. Continue on with the public hearings. Maybe I'll read this one. Oh, so much better. Item number 3, RDA, request for determination of applicability. The Granby Conservation Commission, in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, will hold a public hearing on June 9th, 2020 at 7 p.m. at Old Carnegie Library, top floor, 1 Library Lane, Granby, Mass, regarding request for determination of applicability. RDA, filed by Kathleen Mayatolsi and Nancy Abdallah for property located at Cold Hill Road, Assessor's Map 1, Parcel 134. Again, same thing. If you're not the applicant or if you're not the designer, please don't speak until last to when we open it up. Do we have anybody here representing that party?
Yeah, that's me, Peter LaBarbera from Environmental Planning Associates. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Peter. Thank you. Anybody else can hear him, commissioners?
I can hear you, Pablo.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, okay, so this, go ahead, Peter. Why don't you tell us what your project is and why you're filing this?
Sure.
And I'm recusing myself on this to start with.
That's fine, Bill. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'm gonna.
So this is a refiling of it's a request for determination that was originally filed and heard and had a determination of applicability issued in 2017. And we're coming up upon the expiration of that determination of applicability. And so we decided to refile for the purpose of receiving a renewed determination of applicability. I revisited the property. I flagged the wetland boundary, was able to put more extensive flagging this time than before, because in 2017, there was a prodigious amount of thorns, multiflora rose primarily, that prevented me from getting right up to the wetland boundary. At this point, I guess the multiflora rose when the applicant's representative installed the silt fence and hay bales in 2017. They appear to have pushed back a lot of the multiflora rose, making it more accessible now. This is essentially the same filing, except that in the area, this property is located on the west side of Cold Hill Road. And the driveway, it's a flag lot. The driveway comes in from the east, travels west, and then makes a right turn and goes up a grade. And in this filing, what differs from the last filing is that I did add additional flags to the west. All of the work and grading, except I would say 95% of the work and grading is well beyond the 50-foot buffer zone to the wetland boundary, except for a very small amount of grading associated with the proposed double barrel culvert. That grading does encroach slightly into the 50-foot buffer zone. It's a double barreled culvert with embedment, and it was designed by Analytical Engineering. And really, the only grading that has to be done is to accommodate the culvert. So in my estimation, it's a minor amount of grading. And like I said, mostly outside of the 50-foot buffer zone. Certainly available to answer any questions, provide any clarification as requested.
Sure, thank you. Any questions from commissioners? Amanda, Patty?
We already voted on this once, we're
Yes.
just renewing it.
Really?
I don't have a problem.
Amanda, you all set with that?
Agreed. Yep.
Okay, anybody in the general audience would like to make any comments, questions, concerns? Opening it up. Hearing no one making any comments or concerns or questions.
I think Wenda tried to say something.
She's there.
She's
Oh.
there. I see her mouth moving and she's not muted, but I couldn't hear what she said.
I have, okay, that's fine.
She can't connect.
All right, so Wenda, unfortunately, I can't hear you if you're making any comments. So Amanda and Patty, I'm guessing it's the same motion or the same decision we made last time. Really, nothing's changed. If anything, the multi-floral has been pushed back, which is, I guess, a good thing. So, do you, I guess,
What was the original?
yeah, that's the,
I don't have the original.
we do not have the original, I don't think.
Oh.
The-
Right, where's the original file?
This was 2017?
That's correct.
Do you happen to have our old decision?
I believe I do. I just have to find where I put down the file. Bear with me.
Yeah, that's 2017.
What's the original file number?
I don't. Here, take the folder if you want. Do we, yeah, because if we have a number associated with that, I don't know if we do.
Well, there isn't a number because it was not a, it was an RDA, and so they're not assigned a file number.
Right.
But I do actually have the determination. And if you want, it was dated June 27th of 2017. I could email it to you if you want to specify an email address.
Why don't we do this? Because I'm not gonna be able to access my email till after the meeting.
I mean, I can read it to you.
Sure, you can read the decision to us, what we did.
Sure.
And
Right, so it's a Form 2 determination of applicability. The project description is construct driveway with double 15-inch culverts within buffer zone to allow storm drainage. Bordering vegetated wetland is 70 feet away. Let's see, what else is beyond generic?
determination,
It was a negative determination, box 3.
box 3. Okay.
And it said it was sent certified mail.
Sounds
And looking at the signatures, it looks like Wenda Luff, Amanda Smith, Ed Chapdelaine, and I don't know who the fourth signature is because I can't read it.
Yeah, we have just found it, so we're gonna pull it up. I'm gonna probably make that motion with the same issues. So hang tight, everybody. There, you found it, thank you. So what, it's a -3?
It's a -3.
Sure. So I'm gonna make a motion that we, make a determination of a -3. And, any other special conditions we placed on it?
Nope, there was nothing there originally.
Sure. So it's a -3 determination. Any other that's my motion. Any second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and type that up, Peter, and it'll be basically a reiteration of what was there before.
Very well.
And,
I guess, yeah, we'll look for that in the mail or electronically, however you're able to send it out. Or leave it with Kathy Leonard and I can pick it up, whatever's the most convenient.
We'll do our best to get it out ASAP. Go from there. So,
Okay, if there's no question, I'm gonna sign off then.
Okay,
I'm all set on my end, Peter. Thank you.
thank you.
All right, have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
8:30, I'll do it again, maybe.
Go ahead.
If you could do that. When you're out there watching, thank you for coming up.
Sure.
Start with the reaction to this is a great situation. I know he's a friend and that's for quite some time. What exactly do we need to do better? Think of us to do better. What do you think we need to do better?
All right, if everyone can mute anybody who's not a commissioner, please mute their phones, please. You have something going on in the background there? Some radio?
It looks like it's only commissioners who are unmuted right now.
Okay.
Ed, Wenda, and Bill, and myself, because I'm speaking.
There's something going on. You have something in the background?
I'm not sure, but someone does.
Okay, there you go. Item 4, request for a certificate of compliance at 193 Amherst Street. This is the, across from Kezior Street, I believe, the old farm. There's a septic system. I do not have anything here in front of me. I know that was emailed to us earlier. Has anybody had a chance to go out there and visit the site? I have not personally looked at it.
Mr. Chairman, Kevin Brooks, this is the two maps I gave you today, earlier.
Okay. I think, no, that there's a request for certificate of compliance. Is that part of?
No, this is a request, and a determination has not been issued on, Wenda Luff inspected the site on the 6th of May.
Yeah, I understand, Kevin, there's another issue. There's the house to the south, the old barn, the old house with the barn. That's with the septic system. You're gonna be up after this.
Oh, okay.
All right. I know it's confusing because we have 193.
I'm gonna put you on mute.
Is anybody here for house number 193 Amherst Street, the existing old farmhouse and barn?
Yes, I am.
Could you identify yourself, please?
Sure. Stephen LaPlante from ERA LaPlante Real Estate.
Is that the Kaylee Quinlan project, Steve?
No, I believe this is, separate. Kaylee bought a piece of land, next to the old farmhouse, but the RCOC is for the septic system for the old farmhouse.
Okay, I remember Mr. Fugler did that about 5 to 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2012. Basically, the background, and I have diagrams and wetland maps, whatever you may need to look at in the camera, but we just sold the farmhouse on June 1st, right before the closing. When the attorneys did the title search, they realized there was an open order of conditions from 2012 related to the septic system for the farmhouse.
Again, I go by there a couple of times a week. My opinion, again, without a formal inspection, it might not be valid, but my opinion is that terrain has grown in nicely over the past few years.
Yes. Yep.
You can't even tell there's a leach field there.
Right.
Yep, I mean, the only issue I have, I don't have the paperwork in front of me. It's not.
You need a Form 8B.
I understand that. I don't have the access to a computer at this point. There's no computer here. And I don't have access, so we're gonna have to either take a look at, anyways, we need to either do a site visit real quick. And we've got to fill out that, was it Form 8, you said, Bill?
An 8B, yeah. Again, I've done a site visit without really doing, without consciously doing one. Again, I go by there a couple of times a week.
I'm sure.
I can vouch that the place has been grown in nicely.
Yeah, I sent in, I don't know if it's the right form. I did send in a Form 8A with a $200 check. I don't know.
The Form 8A is the request for the COC. The Form 8B is the COC proper. That's the one that we have to fill out. So you did the right thing, Steve.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mr. LaPlante, you're the realtor, so you're not the builder, obviously, of the septic system.
Correct. Yeah, I was, the previous owners were Brian and Jennifer King. I'm their realtor. They've since moved to Georgia and the house is already sold. So I figured better than have no one show up, I would show up.
Sure. That's fine. That's good. I appreciate that. Bill, I'm the same way. I've driven by the property, but I have not physically entered the property.
Yeah, if you want someone to enter the property, Wendy, are you available to do a site visit?
We can't hear her.
Yeah, Wendy's having a technical difficulty, unfortunately. I think all this stuff was emailed to us.
Oh, she's in chat. She's chatting.
We had an email sent to us, I believe. I did see all the application. I thought the septic plan was there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to make a trip out there and then fill it out, or you want to make a motion now based upon your site visit.
If you read in the chat, Wenda wrote, I saw where the septic was built, cannot see, all is revegetated.
Yep, that's what she said. We just let her know that you can't see it. It's completely vegetated. So it is all, yeah.
So considering that, do the commissioners want to entertain based on their driving, visually driving by the site through the years recently? Do you want to sign off that way, or do you want to visit the site? Amanda?
She's still there?
Amanda?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm leaning towards signing off if people have seen it and it all looks good. And these trying times, I feel like it kind of seems like that's the good thing to do. Just kind of, there's no outstanding issues. It was just a septic repair.
Wenda has been texting the chat.
Yeah, there's a chat function.
So,
yeah, we read it.
So Patty, do you want to just cliff note it, what she said?
She says that it looks fully vegetated in her driveway.
Okay, that's good. I've driven by it, but never noticed.
Never noticed any issue either.
Right. So if the commissioner wants to make a motion to approve, and we can type up the Form 8, B, I guess.
Some, yes.
Is, well, I don't know if we have access to that.
We don't
The
have.
computer's horrible. Is there a motion on the table to approve the request for certificate of compliance?
I make a motion to approve the request for the certificate of compliance.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Yep, we got a thumbs up from Linda.
Okay, so it looks like unanimous.
Yep.
So Mr. LaPlante, we'll type that up as soon as we can and get it to you some way, somehow. And, all right,
All right, thank you very much, everybody.
okay,
thank you.
Steve, thank you, good to
All
see
right,
you.
have a good day. Stay safe.
You too.
Item number 4.A. I'm gonna have to, Kathy, there's Linda. Kathy, I guess forgot to put this on the agenda, but this is gonna go under old business because we had asked Mr. Brooks to go out to the site with Wenda, and he did that. And he dropped off 2 plans today before the meeting. 2 plans here, I'll read them off. Mr. Brooks dropped off a revised plan dated June 2nd, 2020, by R.A. Ferresi Associates. And it depicts the extension of the wetland flags running northerly along the back. I believe it's wetland flags W north to W16 are new. Also, and that plan depicts the topography. I have a second plan here, which is a septic plan by Cold Spring Environmental Consultants, Al Weiss, dated 6/2/2020, and it depicts a single-family house, a garage, a septic system, a driveway coming from Amherst Street, all the activity in the house outside the 100 zone. There's some grading inside the 100 buffer zone for the septic system for return to grade. Other than that, also, Mr. Brooks dropped off a letter dated June 2020, and I will read that in best I can. So, handwriting is, Granby Conservation Commission regarding Kaylee Quinville RDA property, lot 4, north of 193 Amherst Street, Granby. Attached to following revised RA Ferresi Associates topo plan based on DCC site visit, 6th of May 2020. 2A through W. That's Cold Spring Environment Consultants, Alan Weiss, dated 6/2/20, which shows the new losing them. Driveway located over 100 feet from any resource area. If questions, please let me know. Your earliest, sincerely, Kevin.
All right.
Angela.
And Wenda just texted in that she did walk the site, did soils, moved 1 flag, and added 1 flag on her site visit.
And I'm guessing Kevin, you're there?
Yep, I'm here.
That flag was depicted on Mr. Ferresi's plan?
That's correct.
Okay.
And also on the plan by Alan Weiss.
Sure, I see that, yes.
Okay.
And when Wenda was out there, we added 10 flags on the north side of the plan back into the woods. Subsequent to that, they decided to move the house into the mowing and out of the woods. So that's what we proposed on that second plan from Alan Weiss.
So it's now further away from the wetland on the second?
Well, it's over 100 feet in the mowing. You don't have the plan in front of you.
Oh, I can see that, Patty. That's good. Thank you.
Okay. You got it, girl. Yep,
There you go. Well
that's
done.
the one.
Very good.
And see, the flag that Linda designated was W2A, which is down below that. And this is the new location of the house, the garage, the septic system, and the roadway. And that was moved from in the woods out into the mowing. Yeah.
So it looks like all the activities outside the resource area for the most part.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nothing in the resource area.
nothing in the resource area.
So we have an NOI filed for this. We have a DEP number, which is.
And no, this was RDA.
Okay, I see it right here. Never mind, thank you. So almost similar to the last one we had on Cold Hill. Probably gonna be a -3.
I think it's a -3. I'd have to look at the negs.
You have the old one, you wanna read it?
Which old one?
You need one from Cold Hill, you put that.
I put it away. I did what I was told.
Not your.
Is it buffer zone only?
Yeah, no, outside the 100 foot.
Okay, so that means it's a -1.
Well, Bill, there's one area
There's one corner.
that goes into the buffer zone.
Okay, so call it a -3. Be done with it.
Yeah, it's like a little corner right there.
It's
Right
a
there.
Okay,
return
Yep.
grade.
-3 works.
Oh, I have a motion on the table for a -3.
Second for a -3.
Discussion? All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Wendy said aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Kev.
guys.
Wenda, why can't you get your microphone running? Do you have a mic that you can plug into the computer? Get a handheld microphone, plug it in. That would work.
It won't let you in unless you have an access code if you're calling from a phone if you have no Wi-Fi.
Oh, she's calling from a cell phone, not a computer?
A phone and it won't let me in, but.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So,
Patty, you on a telephone or a computer? You're on
Okay,
a
so
telephone too, okay. Kevin,
else?
thank you. Good to see you.
let me just get some of this housekeeping done real quick. Kevin, you're still there?
Yep, still here.
Just a point of interest, that other one for the, Form 8A for the 193 was stuck in that folder, so I do have the applications here for the RD, Form 8 or certificate of compliance. You're not working on that, Kevin, are you?
I did submit the original one
Yeah, no,
back in 2012. And then, I was up there this week and it's very stable on that side. So it was just a septic repair.
I just want to make it clear, it was just stuck in the wrong folder that,
Yeah.
it got inserted into your RDA for some reason. It's just a clerical oversight, that's all.
Wendy makes a note of conditions. I'm asking for a waiver.
All right, Kevin, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, everything here.
There's conditions. She's saying something about monuments, something about putting in monuments. We already closed it.
We already closed it.
Already closed. Already closed.
I don't think you can do that in RDA. It's an RDA.
No, you can't.
You can't do that in RDA.
I don't think you can.
Nope. That's the NOI. You
Okay.
can't put that in. Okay, folks, moving on. Item 5, continuation at 7:45, notice of intent filed by Mike Pio, PC Development LLC for proposed construction of residential subdivision and associated stormwater management structures. The roadway will require a wetland fill and open channel crossing with regards to the property located on Carver Street and known as map 16B-15.4 and 16 of the town of Granby. Anyone here in, out there on, go to meeting for representing Mr. Mike Pio Development? Anyone?
Is he over here going once? Going twice?
Okay, not hearing anyone, to make a motion, continue that meeting to.
Just a point of interest, Ed.
Sure, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, that conservation restriction on the preceding NOI, has that been reviewed by our town council?
I don't know.
Because I think that has to be closed out, signed, sealed, and delivered before we can even act on this new one.
No, because of the 401.
Yes.
Water. Right,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wenda, you remember that from like 15 years ago. When Kim Nazarek was on the board. Anyway, the bottom line is, let's continue it. We'll deal with this later.
Thank you, yep, so it's continued to the
That's
July
fine.
14th.
Anything else on the business?
Yeah, we have to go through real quick, approved minutes.
You're kidding me, right?
We're gonna, I mean, I've been taking notes on my thing here, but, I do not have any,
Aren't they recording it?
we are recording it, but
Then-
supposedly,
Then that counts.
according to Chris Martin, it doesn't.
Well, there you go.
Bills to pay, so I did not see any bills here to pay. I went through the, folders. And I did not see anything here for bills. These are signing sheets.
Wow, we're almost at a record time for the springtime when it's busy.
Nothing.
How many projects left?
None.
Wow,
Okay.
very good.
We do have to talk about the Dufresne's forest cutting.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay, just checking.
Anybody have any bills out there they need to get paid?
I have a lot of bills, but I don't think the commission can pay them.
I have a bill forthcoming from the telephone, the toll call from last month's meeting, but that bill hasn't come in yet. You'll see it next month.
Ooh.
Anyways, I appreciate that. Financial reports. There's no quarterly update in this folder, so I'm gonna say that we have none. So I'll make a note, none.
None.
Outreach education plan of the week. Hearing none, moving forward.
Actually, let me make a comment about that. What I found out in the wetland is Johnson, what the heck is it? Johnson Marigold, is it? Are you familiar with that one, Wenda? Or Johnson Geranium. It's Johnson Geranium. It's a purple flower that grows out in an obligate style wetland. Beautiful little plants in flower right now.
Nice.
A lot of them in Muddy Brook.
Okay, so moving on. ZBAs and planning board and notice, I'm gonna put that under, where's the forest? I guess we'll put forest cutting plans in there.
Ed, do you know who DR is?
Department of Resource, no, it's DCR.
No, there's a DR person that's muted. I'd like to maybe just identify themselves.
I don't know who that is. If they don't want to talk, they don't, unless they have anything to add to the meeting, they would like to talk. That's fine. Okay, moving on to the notices, ZBAs, planning board, and forest cutting plans. I have here what appears to be a forest management plan. Looks like it's done by Department of Conservation and Recreation. It is dated. I have no date on this. Is there typically a date on these, Patty?
Not always.
So anyways, I do not have a date on this, but it is basically, it looks like it says 7 pages, but it's more than 7 pages. Got some maps. So I believe was this sponsored by anybody? This forest management plan, was this,
If I may, so this is a stewardship plan. So it's basically a forester is hired to go out and to assess and recommend management activities that will help you achieve your goals. So the goals for this forest is wildlife habitat, bird habitat, as well as some revenue from wood, like wood production and wood products. And so this is outlining the recommendations from a licensed forester to achieve all those goals.
so they physically don't do the work. They don't come out and cut the trees, obviously. They're just telling you what we should be looking to do, correct?
That's correct. This is not a forest cutting plan. This is a recommendations, and signing it on the end says that you're agreeing to any management activities are going to be in accordance with these recommendations. So not
Amanda,
doing like a clear cut. What?
Amanda, excuse me, who's the individual that prepared the report?
I think it's John Edwards.
Okay, remember he came in 2 months ago, it was our last meeting prior to COVID.
Yes.
That was the gentleman. Okay, so that's his report. Yeah, he had mentioned he was going to prepare a report. Okay, that's it then.
So Amanda, you seem to be pretty up to speed on something like this. What do you recommend we do? Is this something that we should now take to the town and say, you know, hey, we need to get a tree cutting service to come in and do some of this work, or we give it to DPW, Parks and Recs?
I think Lou Berry and the Dufresne Park Group, which is now the Granby Parks Commission, I think they're going to take care of it.
I think that we should just make sure that they understand the rules or like the intent of this, and there's good communication, because oftentimes with these plans, they'll hire a short-term cutting professional to come in, and those people do not cut with the same intent as long-term cut professionals do, who are looking to make all of these management activities happen instead of just making high grading, where they just cut out all the good stuff, basically. So
Yeah,
this
want
plan
someone
is
profit.
exactly.
Yeah, you want someone, this is a management, not a profit plan where you clear cut and slash and,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're not looking to make a ton of money, but you're, you know, ideally the goal is to break kind of even. So like you're making some money off the land, but also you're paying for good management practices to enhance the land. And also we want to make sure that the users of the park are aware and understand what's happening. Otherwise there could be kind of a rebuttal and like outrage at what's happening, because there are a few sections they mentioned doing clear cutting. And I think for regular park users, that could be rather alarming. So,
Amanda, do they have to post a sign? Do they have to put a sign on the property to let people know what's going on?
not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that would be a really good policy to circumvent these questions we frequently get about forest cutting plans, is have them put a large sign, much as we do with the notice of intent, have them sign the property, post it.
We had a sign, when I did a forest cutting, we had to have a sign posted.
Yeah, we could probably
Did you?
put this on the board at this park. but
Wenda wants to be able to read it. How would she be able to get a copy?
I have no idea. So anyways, Wenda would like to see this report. I do not have a PDF copy of it.
It's in our email and it's
in the-
very detailed.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's good. So.
Yeah.
So is this report available to the general public at this point or no? Or, I mean, I don't know.
Believe that it is something you make available to the general public after it's been like signed off on. So the
Good.
last page that the Board of Selectmen, I believe, is hoping to sign off on is basically just saying that they agree to make all of their management activities comply with this plan. So they won't do anything excessive outside of this plan. They won't just kind of clear cut the entire forest. They'll act within these guidelines.
So Amanda, the selectmen would sign this, not the commission?
I believe so, because that was what Kathy had mentioned in the email. She wanted us to review this and then let her know for their next meeting, which I believe is coming up.
Okay, so why don't we get a chance, find that, everybody can find that email, kind of go through the report, and to be honest with you, a lot of this stuff is Greek to me because I never dealt with this, but you know, the first page is pretty descriptive, then it goes into some summaries.
Yeah, because Wenda said, she said they need an actual cutting plan, but that is actually a management and cutting plan.
Sure.
It tells you what,
It's a little more in detail, it looks like.
it's more than the average plan that, Joe homeowner would get for a slash and cut.
Oh,
I'll tell
yeah.
you that much.
Yeah, I can see that. It looks,
Yes, it is. It is more, but it's different. This is not a cutting plan.
right.
This is recommendations for how you would go about cutting if you wanted to do it in a sustainable manner.
Understood. I see that. Yeah, it looks pretty
Yeah,
well.
And I
they
think-
didn't mark areas to be clear cut at all in the
No.
plan.
No,
But they did talk about which areas those practices would be recommended.
Yep.
So like that's the whole thing with this. It's this is not like we are cutting here, here, here. These are the places where you should do this activity to get the most bang for your buck, sort of thing, and get the most benefits for everyone.
understood. Yeah. No, it's.
And I think we might actually be the ones signing it. I'm looking at the email now. It says it's the proposed forest plan. Please review and sign at tonight's meeting so the selectmen can address it at their meeting on the 15th.
Sure,
So I think we just want to make sure that they understand this is not a cutting plan. It's a
Okay, it's not a cutting
stewardship
plan.
plan. I spent a lot of time talking to Sean Libby, who's a service forester. He's not in our area. We have Dave Hutchinson, but I've been working with him for a state project I was working on over the past couple of months. And so I had him read me the in and outs of all of these forest plans and how they all fit together. And a stewardship
Amanda,
plan is a very good thing to have.
Amanda, does the stewardship plan allow them to do the physical cutting?
If it's under a certain threshold of cords of wood, yes. So there is a threshold, but once you hit that threshold, and many of these activities, such as the clear cutting areas, they will meet that threshold, you will need to have the forest cutting plan. And
Okay,
for a
gotcha.
town, it makes the most sense to get a forest cutting plan because that means that it will be overseen throughout the whole process. There'll be a lot more regulatory oversight in that sense.
Very good, thank you.
One other question. This is a long-term decision for maintenance of the forest. How do you maintain or manage that through the years? Does somebody in the commission have to physically go out there and inspect this as they go through the years? Or is this something that we entrust to a forester, from DCR, or how do we maintain that? Because, you know, in 5-10 years, if this is a 20-year plan, who's the overseer of this plan for the next 20 years?
So this is a 10-year plan, and
Okay.
with this plan, the property owner is the overseer, but with a forest cutting plan, then the DCR, the state forester, they also become an overseer of the process. And so you want to go through them and you want to always select the long-term cutting plans because those take into account all of these factors of sustainable harvesting, whereas short-term cutting plans are only looking for money. So short-term cutting plans are looking at what can we get from this land right now, and we don't care what happens in the future. So people will try and like get landowners to let them cut on their land to get them a quick, easy profit, but they'll take advantage and kind of degrade the land. But these stewardship plans and long-term cutting plans are specifically designed to address all of those concerns and find a balance so that you can sustainably harvest while also achieving other goals, depending on your objectives.
10 years out, you know, this whole commission could be changed, obviously in 2 years or 5 years or whatever.
Yep.
So as a commission and the future commissioners, are we responsible for the management of this plan, or is this something we have to let somebody else do? I don't know, maybe you answered my question earlier, I don't know, because it is a long term.
Who owns the property, I guess?
Well, the town of Granby, but I think it's in the Conservation Commission's, it was deeded to the Conservation Commission.
Okay.
Because we're in charge of anything, I believe, south of the pond,
Mm-hmm.
and anything up towards between 202 and the pond is Park and Recs.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but there's a cutoff line somewhere.
I think as long as we always select long-term cutting plans, it will always be on the record and it will always be documented. And then there'll always be basically just a record trail so that people can know when last activities were done. And we have a track of all of those details.
Yeah, so as the commission, you would have to keep documents of when it was cut, who the cutter was, company rather.
DCR would also have records.
Okay, so they're gonna keep records too.
Yeah.
It's something that comes out the bid, I'm guessing, so.
Likely, yes. But as long as we are making sure that we are selecting the long-term cutting plans, then we're more likely to get all better outcomes.
Right, which I think that's the end goal of the long term on this.
Exactly. But when you get people to come in and do just under the threshold and other things, that's when things can get mismanaged, because if they're under the threshold, they don't have to file, and they say they're going to do what they're supposed to do, but maybe they don't, and then who's to say if they did or didn't? So selecting the long term just ensures proper oversight by a DCR forester and records.
All right, well, thank you for that education on that. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than you just said, but
Yeah, definitely.
10 minutes is not realistic. So I don't know if they want us to sign as a commission. I'm not comfortable signing anything unless I'm more educated on it. And it sounds, the only people we have here that would be either Patty and yourself, Amanda, that are educated in this kind of stuff. So I don't know if the selectmen are asking us to sign something. I personally don't want to sign anything I'm not very familiar with. I don't know how the other commissioners feel. Yeah, as long as.
No, I agree, Ed. Let's stand by. Let's let the selectmen handle this one.
Well, I think they're going to have to. Amanda, I'm guessing, in the long run. I don't want to say the word stuck with, but we're going to be the overseers, I guess. Amanda?
Possibly. It really comes down to who technically owns the property, I would think. Because you're the one in the end that's holding the,
Right. Yeah, I don't know how the deed is written. I was always told it was one part was Park and Recs and one part was Conservation Commission. And then who's going to pay? If there's any outlay of money, who pays for it?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, who's hiring these people in the process?
Money in our budget to pay for it. Anyways, I'm going to make them. I don't know if I need to make a motion on this, or just the fact that we discussed it is good enough. So I don't know, any other commissioners' thoughts on this, what we should do?
We always request for them in their meeting to discuss their ideas of responsibility and responsible parties so that we get more information
Sure.
out. So maybe it might be leaving a note to Kathy saying we would like the following questions answered before we sign something. Such as, who would be responsible, where the monies come from,
Right.
and who will have ultimate oversight. I mean, that's.
We could do that.
Because we just don't have the answers.
Yeah.
This here
It's kind of like, it's not like buying a car online and not driving it.
Yeah. It's what to take in here. And to be honest with you, I'm not very familiar with it, so I've never done it. This is the first time I've seen it. I've seen forest cutting, not something like this, which I think it sounds like a good idea. But. So, do you guys want to just kind of table this till the next meeting, or just you want we can try to get some questions together, to shoot to Kathy to ask the selectmen. I think the biggest thing is finance.
Okay. That's my way of saying the meeting's over.
Anybody else on that? Comments?
I move we adjourn.
Okay, so, that wasn't the question, but I guess. So I guess what we're doing with this DCR report, forest management plan, is that we will kind of table it for now. And we'll try to get we'll kind of get an email generated about some questions that we could ask. Who's ultimately responsible for this plan? So I'll try to get some type of questions together. So.
Okay. And they do
So-
also say in here that the timing isn't until the fall. So like late fall, I think, ground frozen, that kind of time. So they're careful to specify that in here as well.
Okay.
All right.
So we have some
So-
time, is all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be immediately.
Well, fall is gonna be here before you know it.
I know.
So-
Yeah.
So I think Bill made a motion to adjourn.
You did.
Is there a second?
I second we adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Aye.